Palominos. You're tuned in for another episode of Palomino Pláticas. I'm Manny.
I'm Boogie.
And I'm Akemi. And today we're going to be getting real about what it's like to be a student leader here on campus.
From leading esports to guiding new incoming students as an OL, there's a lot of things that people don't actually see.
Yeah, let's get straight into it.
All right, let's begin. How did you guys get into leadership?
Well, for me, my leadership role is from being an esports captain. We got elected from, I have 5 players on my team. All 4 players chose me as their captain. And ever since then, I've been learning how to lead by example. There we go. How to lead by example. I think that's the best leadership role. I think that's how leaders should be, in my opinion. I don't know about you, Manny.
Yeah, the same boat as Boogie over here. Like he said, we have, instead of him having 4 other players, I had 3 other players. I was elected to be team captain for my team. So kind of on the same boat, just leadership. We're captains. We have to lead our teams into games, practices, and scrims. That's pretty much all it is. That's how my leadership role works as a team captain for esports.
That sounds really cool, guys. I got into leadership by becoming an orientation leader. I worked at the advising center for about 3 months. I gained a lot of knowledge, and I felt like I could put in that information to work by leading new students. I remember my first semester I was pretty nervous. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, where things were at, but I wanted to help, I wanted to use my knowledge and help other students that have been in my shoes.
So what do you think is we talked about the good side of leadership. What do you think is the hardest part, the thing no one talks about?
I think it would be the way we handle it. I think it's our personal life and how we put that into work with our leadership skills.
Yeah, same thing with Akemi. I feel like finding that balance between personal life and work/school or your leadership role, whatever you have to do. Mainly, I feel like it's the general aspect of it is just time management.
Yeah.
Like I said, just finding that whole balance between personal life and work/school. That's probably the hardest part about pretty much everything. It's just being able to manage your time just behind the scenes. Don't get me wrong, I love playing video games and all of that, but we also have to be responsible for 3 other. In my case, I have to be responsible for 3 other players. At the end of the day, we're all grown men on that team. We're all over 18 years old. But at the end of the day, you still have to kind of they're not like little brothers. They're more how can I say it?
They're you kind of have to be a mentor for them.
Yeah, you kind of got to be a mentor, especially me since I'm a little bit older than most of the guys there. I kind of play like that in some sort of sense, like that big brother role. But I don't know.
I believe another big part of it's the preparation for student orientation. I think the week that we had the training, it went really smooth, but I believe that a lot of people might not see that as part of being an orientation leader. We learned a lot. We gained a lot of knowledge and resources that maybe some of us didn't know that existed on campus, which it was really nice to know about. I also think it goes with, going around the campus, doing the tours, doing practices around the campus. I know that sometimes it gets hard because we're in Laredo. It's a really hot city. But I think we manage pretty good while we do it.
Not only that, just the fact that we have to learn everything about our campus at Fort McIntosh and even at the South Campus. I don't really go to South Campus. I've never taken a class at South Campus. And for me to learn about 9 to 10 different buildings and to explain what each building has and what each building offers, what classes you can take there to students that are going to be taking classes there, it's a little bit harder for me because, like I said, I've never taken a class at South Campus. I've been to South Campus maybe twice, and that's only for Fall Fest. And that's for Fall Fest. I've only been there for Fall Fest. But to learn all of that and to share it on to someone else to make sure they don't get lost and they don't have a hard time with their first semester, it's tough. It's tough being an OL because, like I said, it's a lot of information you have to gather. And the good thing is that we have clipboards. And me personally, I use what are those little post-it note cards? What are they called?
Flashcards?
Yeah, flashcards. I use flashcards for most of my information. But I feel like it's tough, but at the same time, it's fun being an OL. But that's pretty much like what people don't see. The knowledge you have to give to others. I feel like that's one of the hardest things about being an OL.
I agree with that. I also think that the first impression always matters. I think that that's the first thing that we show our students once they come in for our orientation. But it's always usually really fun, and I'm just glad that it goes all very smooth.
You know what's interesting is I think like for esports, since we're esports captains, that's a different leadership than OL. Because in OL, I feel like we have to like give them information so they won't make loss. Like kind of take care of them like under our care. And then for like esports leadership, we have to make sure our players are like cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think it's very different.
Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. I'm glad you pointed that out because it is entirely different from being an OL to being a team captain and that's like to anything else.
Yeah.
I feel like it's different. How can I say it? Like maybe you're a manager at a retail store, like at Target or I don't know, Walmart or something. It's going to be a different leadership role from there to here. Like how Boogie said, being an esports captain is completely different from being an OL. But I feel like it's the same subject, but like a different teacher in that kind of sense.
Yeah.
You still have to take on that leadership role, and you still have to take people under your wing, pretty much. But like how you said, that's a great point. I'm glad you pointed that out.
All right, let's flip it. What's something that this experience has taught you?
Go ahead.
For me, I think a lot of it is confidence. I feel like I lacked confidence in my younger years, but being a leader, I feel like that pressure has made me build confidence. So I could, well, first of all, for being an OL, I have to know my stuff. I have to make sure like the students know their stuff. So that confidence has like allowed me to make sure they're well taken care of. And for esports, I feel like that confidence is how you lead by example.
For me, I would have to say that people are always watching, even when you don't realize that people are watching you. It's just being able to handle setbacks and drawbacks. It's just, I don't know, it just sets that kind of tone that you're well like kept within yourself. I don't know. I feel like that's what this experience is teaching me. I can't really give an example like being an OL. Well, actually, yes, I can. I mean, everyone's watching you. Like from the introduction that we do in the mornings to when we go to our rooms and we have to teach, the stuff about Passport, Canvas, and all of that. They're always going to be watching you. Everyone's going to be paying attention to you. You're literally like the center of the room.
I have to agree with Boogie. I think I lacked a lot of self-confidence, so I feel like this job has been very teaching to me. I also think that it has to do a lot with knowing that we don't know all the answers, and that's perfectly fine. That's why we refer them to departments. That's why we teach them what we teach them, and that's why we go over the information that we teach our students.
It's also I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's also like having to lead without knowing all the answers. That's another thing that comes like kind of with like confidence. I feel like as OLs we should be confident enough to know when we're wrong and accountability pretty much to know when we're wrong and just to be open, be present, and we have to learn as we go pretty much. Because there was a lot of things I didn't even know about this campus, and I've been here for quite a while. So it's just taking accountability, like how you guys said, being self-confident, just like that. Those are the things that we pretty much get taught to ourselves. Not only like to ourselves, but I feel like amongst the other OLs, I feel like I'm probably one of the most confident ones there. I feel like I'm able to talk to anybody just normally. I don't know if anybody like ever sees that from me. I'm pretty sure they do, but I feel like me being not overly confident, because I'm not going to say that because that's just being too much. But I feel like me being able to speak in front of people clearly, and my other OLs can see that. I feel like they can see that I'm doing it, and they believe in themselves that they can do it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they try to match you. Like
not match. Like I don't want to compete with anybody, but I want to give off like that bravado that. Hey, like if I'm able to do it, you guys can do it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. If someone's listening right now thinking maybe I should join OL or esports, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to do it. 100%. Just do it. Like how Boogie said, you'll get taught self-confidence. You'll learn how to be self-confident. You'll learn to take accountability. even when you know you shouldn't. But that's one of the biggest things that you should be able to do as a leader. You should be able to take criticism most of the time. I know at the end of our orientation days, we have like our own debrief, and we all give each other constructive criticism. That's one thing that is very important. We should be taking constructive criticism. Not feel personal about it, because not everything's personal. But yeah, I don't know about you, Boogie.
I like how you mentioned that. I feel like the whole criticism thing, I think that's what makes you like a better person and a leader.
I think I would encourage everyone to do it, whether it's esports, OL, anything on campus. Honestly, you learn a lot, you gain a lot of confidence, you gain a lot of knowledge. I'm a transfer student. I transferred from Texas Women's University in Denton, Texas. And my biggest mistake was probably not taking advantage of the opportunities that I had while being there. I think that my experience would have been a lot nicer, a lot smoother, and academically I would have done a lot better. But it was just kind of the lack of wanting to join something. So now that I'm doing it, I'm really grateful, because this semester has been amazing. This summer is going to be great. So yeah, go ahead, do it. Don't be afraid for it. If you don't, how do I say it? Just go ahead, do it. You gain a lot of experience. You gain everything. You gain amazing friends. I have amazing coworkers, and I really like my job. I really like what I do, and I like helping people and giving them out the knowledge that I have for them to put it themselves in their first semester.
All right, Palomino. That's a wrap on today's Palomino Pláticas. Any closing thoughts?
Orientation on Thursday.
And we're rooting for you. We're excited to have you here in our fall semester 2025. I would just encourage you guys to do the best that you can. And yes, I think that's it for today's Palomino Plática.
All right. Bye, Palominos.